Okay, so we are live. All right. Good evening, viewers and subscribers to Peter Rugby Eater. I trust you guys are well. Today I have with me Mr. Chanel Smith, who is a fellow rugby lover like myself, a fellow rugby supporter like myself. Chanel, can you just give a very brief introduction to yourself and then take it from there?
Sure. Hi everyone. So my name is Chanel Smith. I am from Cape Town, South Africa as well, where Peter is from. And yeah, I'm a recent rugby lover actually, Peter. I mean, back in the day, I used to watch it as I passed by the TV or so. But I would say in the last say 10 years or so, or more, yeah, just over the 10 years, 15 years is when I actually started getting into rugby. Played a little club rugby, or as we will say, recreational rugby. And yeah, at the moment, I am part of a team, a management team that started a Blackheath Rugby Academy here in Cape Town. And yeah, it's an academy that is partnering with some schools in our area where we do we do specific purpose training for rugby kids from junior age, that is under 12 years old, up until 18 years old. And we work with two primary schools and two high schools. And from there, we hope that our youth gets recognized into bigger clubs. One of our kids, actually, our youth, has been selected for a under 19 Irish tour that is happening in September month. So that is
Okay,
something that we are proud of here. And
okay, that's nice.
yeah, he's a number one player. He's a forward, very big, 17 years old, but he's big. So he
Okay.
holds from Blackheath, and we are proud of that. He's gonna go for the under 19 team there, and yeah, he's that is what we produce here in Blackheath. Very little people know about Blackheath, but we definitely want to put it on the map. And so yeah, that's how far I'm involved in rugby, and I do enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. Yeah.
Okay, nah, cool. Now, thank you very much. So, the goal of this live stream is to discuss the Springbok team that was chosen for the third and final test to take on Wales at DHL Stadium in Cape Town. So,
Yeah.
let me bring up the team sheet and we can just have a brief discussion and see who's who in the zoo.
Yeah.
All right, so I see that the coach he brought back the team that is in front of us here, and this team, their goal
The,
is to do
the World Cup
damage
team.
on Saturday. They
Yeah.
must
Yeah.
basically smash Wales into submission and just do damage. So at number
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3, we've got Trevor Nyankane, Bongi Numanambi, and
Nambi.
Franz Malherbe.
Herbe. Yes.
So I don't know about you, Chanel, but I initially last year, when Trevor Nyankane was chosen with Oxenchair and Bongi, I think they played in the first test against the British and Irish Lions. And I
Yeah.
know that
Yeah.
the first test, the Springboks, they lost that first test against the Lions. And
Yeah.
for some reason, I didn't have a liking in that front row. But
That
since
there.
the second and the third test, Trevor Nyankane, he's shone through. The guy, I think he made his name from that second test onwards. What is your feeling about this front row that's going to start Saturday?
Yeah, look, I enjoy watching a front row play well together. It's like a well-oiled, they're like a well-oiled engine. I mean, they can do some heavy damage, and yeah, you're right. Look, in the beginning, Trevor was one of those players that has the body, but I don't think he had the confidence back then. When he played against the Lions. But then afterward, when you pair him with the right guys in front, he can definitely do damage. I mean, in the Bulls, you saw how he played there. He was a brick house at the end of the day. when they brought him up, when Jake White brought him up every time, he made some good damage and even a few meters. I mean, look at how he played now for Racing 92. I mean, his first few games and the guy he already got his tries in. So he's definitely a one to look at in terms of his endurance, but
Yes.
also for his ability to get a few meters. So I definitely think he's one to look at. And then I mean Umbonambi, he's one of my favorites, and I mean I'm a Shark supporter, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely happy that there's a Shark there in front. I mean I would have enjoyed seeing Thomas de Toy there, but Umbonambi I would say is probably one of the future like him and Stephen, they're one of the guys that I always say they are one of the new body types of a forward rugby player, where they're not so bulky that they can't run a few meters. They're not too big that they have to go off in the second half, because they're tired. These are guys that can make a few meters and they can stay in the game for at least 70 minutes. So
Yeah.
I definitely think that this is a good pairing. And I mean, Malherbe is one of those guys that just doesn't say no when it comes to putting him on and who doesn't give up. Definitely think that the three of them, I mean, Malherbe now, was it last week? He brought that scrum down every time. He made sure that the Wales give in consistently, scrum after
Yes.
scrum. So he's definitely one of those chaps, to keep in a scrummage and to definitely put some weight on there. So yeah, no, I think that's a good choice, a good pairing that they made there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think with Bongi, now many people out there, Springbok supporters, they would prefer that Malcolm Mark start for the Springboks
Oof,
week in and week out. I know everybody
yeah,
want Malcolm Mark to start. However,
yeah,
I understand the fact and where Bongi fits in and what he does. A guy like Bongi, he's being told probably by the coaches is that go out there and give your all for 40, 45 minutes and just
yeah,
lay yourself out there. And you can see
yeah,
the way the guys play. Even if you look at Trevin Nkane, Bongi, Francois Herbe, those are guys, they play flat out, knowing that the guys coming in after them are equally good
yeah,
or even better, in my opinion.
yeah. Yeah, no, no,
But
definitely.
but it's a luxury that we have as a Springbok follower or followers. And I think that this front row, they should lay a marker down. Look, Wales, they're competent in the scrum. Eh? I
Yeah,
thought that the
yeah,
Springboks would, in the last minute last week, go for the scrum, win the penalty, and then win the game basically. But it didn't happen.
yeah,
Wales, they held their own. So for Springbok team to prosper, that front row, they have to be at a very high level. They
mm,
can't be one gear down. They have to be at a very high level. But I'm happy with the front row. I think the three of them they will do the job for us on Saturday. Then we have our Centurion in Eben Etzebeth. Now Eben he
man.
began playing for the Springboks at a very young age. He
Yeah,
was like a
yeah, yeah.
Springbok when he started. I think in 2012, 2013. And the guy is actually the youngest Centurion Springbok in history to date.
Yes,
So he's
yes,
running out. Very important game for him. They say that your 100th game is just as important as your debut. You will not forget that game. And hopefully the
yes,
guys will pull together to give the guy a great send off. Let me put it in that terms. But even it's a
yeah,
bit, he's starting at 4 and Luat de Jager at 5. To me, Luat is one of the greatest current locks in the world. My thing with Luat
yeah,
is like very how can I say, they call it like someone who has a glass jaw, man. To me, it's like very
yeah,
injury prone. Lotte Jager.
yeah,
He's
that is
had
true. Yeah, that is.
shoulder dislocated previously. He's had many other injuries. But if Loot can remain in the game for as long as possible, then I think the Springboks they are solid at number 4 and number 5.
Yeah,
What do you think
definitely.
about those two?
No, look, I agree. I think with Eben Etzebeth, he's probably my all-time favorite player. or all-time favorite number 4, but still player. I think this is a very exciting game for him. I mean, it's here in Cape Town, and the people are more saying he's coming for Victor Matfield. And I definitely do think he's gonna surpass that cap count. But I definitely think Ibn Itzebit is still in the prime of his rugby career, and this century that he has now is you could say for other players it's still a long way to go, and he got it so young in his life. So it just shows how good he is, and how he's selected every time the opportunity comes up. For Loet Jager, I mean, whenever they lift that guy up, it's like a show, a ballet show cast, because whenever I watch him play and they throw out a line out, this guy is meters and meters in the air, and he consistently catches, and he consistently, gets the ball, passes it out.
Right.
So I definitely think having him there and having him for the lineouts is a good thing. I think last week it's a bit made some nice disruptions. He didn't steal it consistently, but he made some good disruptions. So them two together, disrupting a lineout is always a great thing. The lineout for Malherbe, sorry for Loet. I mean, I suspect probably a 90% accuracy of getting that line out every time.
Yeah. Sunil, there's a comment from Johan. Johan Rugby, he says here, I wanted Thomas de Toit in the starting 15. Yeah, no, definitely, Johan. I think that the Springbok team, they are spoiled with choice.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have those guys, 1 and 2, Trevor, Franz. You've got Kitsov and Vincent Koch there, and these guys they can rotate. I think
yeah,
Trevor Nkane can play tight it and lose it. So
yes,
the Springboks are spoiled with choice, but I think there's going to be a very long season. So guys like Thomas de Toit, they will have an opportunity to show their skill down the line. Most definitely, I believe that. Yeah, so we covered the lock. So the loose forwards, Sia Kolisi, Peter Sef de Toit, and Jasper Wiese. In my opinion, Sia Kolisi is way out of form. I think since Sia left the Stormers, which is my favorite team, and went to the Sharks, I don't know what happened there. And I think since Sia Kolisi signed with Rock Nation,
Rock Nation, yeah.
yeah, I think they must now elite.
Yeah, it's all about
But
the
I think,
money.
eh?
I say it's all about the money
Yeah, no,
with
definitely,
Rock
definitely,
Nation.
definitely, definitely. But I think Sia Kolisi, he needs to get some form back in his game. There's guys currently that's playing in the URC teams and even overseas that can easily fit into the number 6 role. So
Mm,
I think Sia is there because he's our captain. He's there
yeah,
because I believe that he offers something maybe in the back room, motivation
yeah,
wise and
yeah.
and
Yes.
and putting the guys focus on something greater than just being on the field. But I'd like to see Sia upping his level of intensity and his work rate. Then also Peter Seftertoit, I'm happy that the guy got an 80 minutes through last week. Um, he's probably one of the Springbok legends that our kids will speak about one day.
Yeah,
So the fact that Peter Seftertoit is in this team, it's great. And Jasper Wiese, now I followed Jasper Wiese. I think I have a video of Jasper Wiese in my video catalog on this channel where I profile Jasper Wiese. Now, Jasper Wiese,
yeah.
for those who don't know, he's the brother of Kobus Wiese. Now, not the Kobus Wiese that won the 1995 World Cup.
No, no.
Kobus Wiese
Yeah.
also played for the Stormers and he played for Western
Thomas.
Province, but he moved to Shell Sharks a few seasons ago. So they are
Yes.
brothers. And Jasper Wiese, he is a hard man. I think he's one
Oof,
of the best
man.
players in the English Premiership. And I
Yes,
think he got the man of the match
he got man of
in
the
the
match. Yes,
final.
yeah,
That's right, against Saracens. And the guy performed. I know that Jasper Visa is a certain guy. In the first test, he made a few huge mistakes in the beginning. I think his weakness is to catch the high ball.
yes,
For some reason, he has trouble with that, and I think teams they are targeting him in that role. But other than that, the guy's general play is pretty good. I think that the way he runs into contact is like vicious. He's a guy that will hurt you in contact. But that's the way the Springbok setup is. Hard physical
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
So
No, the
I'm happy with the loose forwards, except with Siya Kolisi. I think Siya must up his game on Saturday.
yeah. No, look, I agree with you on that. Specifically, the Sia Kulis's position. Whenever I tell people Sia, look in my personal, I mean, he's a Sharks player now, but there was a time when Lucanio went to go play in Japan not too long ago, and for that the first two games with Lucanio absence, Sia Kulisi had to play the role of the captain. But even there, the Sharks performed. They didn't perform so well, and then once Thomas Tutoy came up, the way the Sharks played after that so much changed automatically. So I've always had the opinion that I'm not a big fan of Sia. I've always felt that he's a motivational player. He's a player for, like you say, the dressing room and so forth. And I mean, I understand the socio situation where he's a player to be recognized for a player of hope, etc., etc. But just for how he's been playing now, at the end of the day, you ask, but where is he playing? He's not making meters as he used to. His tackles are good, his form is well, but then afterward, he's done, he's tired, and so definitely his form needs to get back in shape for him to I mean bring our team to its form. I wouldn't say former glory. We still have the glory, but I mean the World Cup is upon us, and he needs to make sure that he's fit enough even to carry us through there. I mean, I look at yeah, and then the other two, with Sef Toy, I mean, I was surprised to see how he could perform after having such a major injury and operation, on his leg, which just shows you what type of player he is. He's a man of steel, man. But my favorite in there is Visser Jasper Visser. I mean, that guy has been my favorite since he debuted, and I've always said I will choose him any day over Ruiz, because if you look how he played in the Lions, the Irish Lions, he played such a tactical game that you couldn't help but say you needed such a player in there to actually go into that rucks, when Vermeulen wasn't there, you could see that Visser played that same type of. Whenever there's a ruck, he cleared that ruck. Whenever there
That's
was a
right.
ball to steal, he made sure the job is done. And not only that, the theoretical play of the game, where the ref took some time to notice a guy's off his feet, he was there. He made sure he reminds the ref by taking the ball. So he's definitely a player that plays by the books and plays the
Yeah.
traditional rugby, if I could say so.
No, definitely. I see here is another comment from Johan. He's saying here that he would select Marcel Coetzee in front of Kolisi because, as you said, he is out of form, and then Marcel is also a good leader. Yep, true. I think Marcel Coetzee would be the obvious replacement for Siya Kolisi.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think the Springbok coaches, these guys are like ingrained, and what I understand is that they are very loyal with the players who won them the World Cup and the British and Irish
yeah,
Lions. But I think the case in point, I think we will touch on this next, but the case in point for someone like Faf de Klerk, who was like dropped to the bench, but we'll cover that now. So yeah, most definitely, I think this loose forward trio, they will will have to be very impactful against Wales, because this Wales team, they are not
Yeah,
gonna
no,
just stand idle and allow the Springboks to batter them. They're gonna fight fire with fire. All
definitely.
right, then we've got Jayden Hendricks at 9. Now, Faf de Klerk, he was basically dropped. Okay, I think I saw the interview yesterday, the media briefing or conference that was had, where
Jacques
the coach
and
basically said that no one's place is actually safe, and this is a very
Dave, yeah.
good example whereby a player like Faf de Klerk, who was the mainstay, he was basically one of the bedrock in the way the Springboks play the game. But here we see that Faf de Klerk is dropped to the bench, and Jayden Hendricks, he will start in this game. What do you think of Jayden Hendricks? I think he's a capable player. He played quite well Saturday pass in the second test,
Yeah,
but I think this will be a level higher. So hopefully he
yeah.
pulls through.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, he's another Sharks player, you know. So I mean, I'm happy that the guys are representing him here. But I definitely think, yeah, you're right. I watched the interview where Coach Nina said, you know, that he chose Jayden because he played well last week, but it doesn't mean he's safe because Faf will fight for his position. And but I think if you look at how Jayden played last week, I mean, there was the only thing that frustrated me a little is that his kicking game was
Mm.
inconsistent. Sometimes he kicks too far out, and then other times he kicks short. His ball was a bit flat whenever he kicked it out. But furthermore, his clearing was on point. You know, his setups was always well rounded, and not only that, but I mean his defense. He actually defended the ball quite well. Defended the our 22 very well. If you look at his attacking, you know, his attacking was also very good. He ran a lot of meters actually. But I definitely think, I mean, if I was in his position, I would be starstruck with playing with this group of guys, because this is the Warriors. These are the guys that won the World Cup, the Lions store. You know, so me being in his position, I can think, you know, I can just imagine how exciting that must be, but then how he must keep his composure, because now the pressure is on him to make sure he directs that ball, you
Yes.
know, blind side, left to right. He must make use of the ball that he gets.
No, that's right, definitely. But my prediction for this game, playing style wise, like in the World Cup, where the Springboks playing a certain style against Wales in the semi-finals, and the Springboks they totally switched to a way different style against England in the final. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Boks kick less and they will play more ball in hand on Saturday. So I
Yes,
think that's something to
yes,
watch out for, because that's the type of player that Jayden Hendricks is. He's a player that's very dynamic,
yes,
especially around the racks, and that quick nippy runs around the rack. So
yeah.
yes, hopefully they will change tactic. Number 10, Andre Pollard. So yeah, I think that the Elton Yankees experiment was a failure.
A
I think
flop, man, a flop of a note.
yeah, no, definitely. I think Yankees was still there in that toilet story there in that Emirates flight
Yeah.
with issues. I think
Yeah.
Yankees tried to
No,
join
look,
the My Lai Club.
look at that guy. I'm checking when they started him. I'm thinking, but this man didn't even have any game time in his own
Nothing
team. You
whatsoever.
know, when he played his off-season game, his team lost. You know, so why are you playing a guy that hasn't had any game time at all? And Ninabo was still saying, well, he's having some game time, you know, here in the training grounds, the training camp, which I think is unfair. There's so many other players. I mean, yeah, look, I would have favored a another Sharks player coming in there, maybe like Puta Chamberlain. Even Cohen Bosch. But I mean, yeah, like they play this guy. I'm thinking,
No comment.
who? Yeah, I think man, this guy needs to sit down. He needs to just watch the game and not play it because, yeah, he was messing up. I mean, look, he is one of those guys that has a reputation of coming out to save the game. He does. When he's in a position to kick the ball over, he can. But when there's so much pressure around you, eyes on you, and you haven't watched it, you haven't played, your team lost, you haven't got any game time. What are you doing at an international game? I think you
Yeah,
shouldn't have played in the first time.
yeah. Yeah, but Andre Pollard, let's clearly focus on Andre Pollard. So Andre Pollard, I know that last year he had a very inconsistent season. His place kicking wasn't what it was in 2019. And Andre
Yeah,
Pollard is not the first choice fly off at his club team, Montpellier in France. I think that
yeah,
young Italian fly off, the guy who I think he previously played for Benetton, he is the starting fly off at the club where Pollard is, Montpellier. So I think this particular game on Saturday will be a very important game where Andre Pollard can garner some what's the word I'm looking for? Some not motivation, confidence, confidence.
yeah,
But I think Andre Pollard didn't play too bad last week. I think he was quite good last week. He made a couple of nice breaks that should have been tries for the Springboks if he just could get a last pass. But I think
mm,
that this week will be a very telling week for Andre Pollard, and I hope that he pulls through because the Springbok needs him. Actually, we don't have a proper backup for Andre Pollard.
yeah,
Currently, we've got Damien Willemse as the proverbial um, fly off. If anything should
yeah.
happen to Andre Pollard, they will put Willemse in there.
Willem staying
But
there.
Andre Pollard needs to come through in this game on Saturday and win this game for the Springboks. Definitely.
Definitely, I do agree. I think the confidence issue was a big deal. I mean, I do think that his choices he made last week as captain it's something that I mean, look, we can't. We're sitting here and we're saying his choices were bad. We don't know what pressured him to make those choices on the field. However, I mean, if we look at the first 4 to 6 minutes, we were right in the 22. We were on the try line. We should have gone for another scrum, but he decided to kick the ball, and then there was again in I think the 57th minute that we won the scrum. We won the scrum, and the ref asked, "What is he going to do? What is he going to?" I mean, he goes and decides to just to again to get a conversion. But I
Yeah.
think those are just examples where you know as a captain to take a bit more confidence in your team that they have the strength even when it's 10 minutes or 20 minutes left, they still have the ability to actually run a few tries into that Wales team. So yeah, like I mean, look, Coetzee showed that definitely
Yeah.
that it can be done. So he should have just trusted the team to get at least two tries in because I think there were two tries in the pocket for us. But yeah, definitely he's a guy we need, and with a bit more confidence, his kicks can be a bit more accurate, man. He definitely needs to get his accuracy on point there.
Yes, no, definitely. Then let's jump to our centers, 12 and 13. Let's take the wingers later. So we've got at 12, we've got Damon Dialende and
The
Lucano
island, yeah.
M at 13.
Yeah.
Now these guys, they are like Siamese twins. These two, I
Yes,
think they've
yes.
proven themselves now over and over that they are a class act. In the
On
first
their
test,
own, yeah.
I think they struggled a little bit. They didn't expect Wales to bring the heat, but
Yeah,
I foresee that Dialende and M they will come in more into this game on Saturday. They have to come more into this game to give guys like Mapimpi and Jason Colby space to do their magic.
yeah.
But but yeah, how can I say? These guys' performances speak for itself. There's not much I can say about them, but they are a class act. However, I think that the fact that Lukanya played in Japan for a few months, that softened him up a bit.
Yeah.
My opinion
And his
is
team lost there as well.
that's right, yes. Because my opinion is for guys being in Japan, they're not they're not exposed to the same physicality and pressure and intensity that the players are experienced playing now. Our teams now in the URC and other
Yeah.
guys in France and in the Premiership. I think that the
Yeah.
Japan League is more lackadaisy, man. You understand?
Mm,
So hopefully, the couple of games that he's gotten now under his belt will have sharpened him up a bit. And I'm looking forward to great things from these two. I think they will do well.
definitely. Definitely. No, I agree. I don't think there's a better pairing than the two of them, unless you're looking at DuPont, and that French pairing. But I mean, these two definitely, it's like you said, Siamese twins, when they have the ball, when has the ball, it's going to come out by the lender and vice versa. So I always enjoy seeing how balls are passed flawlessly and, it looks like we could say a dance that happens whenever they have the ball in their hand and it's passed from one to another. It's just always in sync, always in sync. Yeah. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to see what they're going to do. I'm a bit sad that their lender didn't. I mean, he played for Munster, and his game time there. If you looked at how he played, it was so silent. It was so quiet. But you could see he didn't have a guy that he could do the things with like he normally plays with. So whenever he's here, you could see now the guy's in his element. He's definitely going to take
yeah.
some ground.
Yes, no, definitely. But I think that a guy like Andre Esterhuizen, he is hot on the heels of Damien Delande. And I think if Damien Delande is gonna
Yes,
have a bad game on Saturday, then Andre Esterhuizen, he will be brought in for the tests
that's
against the All
true.
Blacks.
That is
Yeah,
true.
no, definitely, definitely. All right, then our wingers, Makazola Mapimpo, and Cheslin Colby. To me,
Uh,
Shamil, Mapimpi, he didn't have a very explosive URC campaign with the Sharks. I don't know. It's
yeah,
because the way the Sharks played in the URC that didn't allow Mapimpi to shine through. But I think Mapimpi, like Pollard, they are due for a big showing. Cheslin Colby, he came back from injury. I know that he was out for a couple of months. He only came back for his club, I think, in the last couple of games in their campaign for
yeah,
Toulon. Colby too needs game time under his belt, and I'm looking forward to that step to the left from Colby and again to the right and to score his try on the
yeah,
right wing.
yeah, yeah,
Hopefully on Saturday we will witness that and see that. Now I don't know if there's gonna be like Wales supporters watching this live stream or this video later. So excuse the bias, but yeah, I think that Mapimpi is due for a big game because, like we said, is that the guys behind Mapimpi, Fussy and those guys, they are waiting for the opportunity. We've got Kirkley
yeah,
Arends who's there. Those guys, those youngsters, they are waiting for the opportunity. And if
yeah,
these guys don't come to the party within the next two test matches, I can really foresee them losing their places. Except Colby. I don't think Colby will be in that category, but I think Mapimpi might be in danger of losing his place to one of the
yeah.
youngsters that's behind him.
No, I agree with you on that point. I'm like, he's a Sharks player, but this is the one Shark player that I'm actually not a fan of, honestly. When it comes to rugby, the first thing that comes to mind is tackling. And it's like a whole Nas Botha all over again. This man is so afraid of tackling. In my opinion, those two tries that happened that happened in the first test. I would say it was on his watch, you know. Yes, there were gaps that happened there on the end, and he couldn't cover two guys. It was overloaded on his side. But still, I think that first try of Wales was on his end, you know, and I don't know if he's scared to make tackles or if he doesn't know how to. But yes, when he has the ball in hand, you know, he makes meters. He's fast. He's powerful. But I think it doubts, you know, his strength to actually defend, and not only attack but just his defending is quite poor. So in my opinion, they should have, yeah, maybe some Kirtley or Faf. Sorry, not Faf. Yeah, Apilile should have been in there. But yeah, I think they should have taken him out for this round, man, because yeah, he's a token player for the fact that he's made tries in the World Cup, you know, and he's played brilliantly in the Lions tour. But I don't think he's that great of a player, all rounder. Because in my opinion, he doesn't make good tackling, and the ball always passes him by when the opposing team is running his way.
No, no, definitely. So, with our number 15, now this guy, I picked up Chanel that you are loving your Sharks guys in the Springbok team.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put some so much love
Yes.
on Damien Willemse. Now,
Hey.
Damien Willemse, this guy is a phenomenon, right? I followed his career in his Paul Roos days.
Forward. Yeah.
From Paul
Yeah. Yeah.
Roos, he came to Western Province, from Western Province, Storm, and now he's a Springbok. I would say he will be the guy that is. Sometimes they say if you are a jack of all trades, you are master of none. But I think this guy
Yeah.
is a master fly off, he's a master fullback, and he's a master inside center.
Inside
So
center.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's very important to have Willems in this team. He is the guy that will be fulfilling the role that Franz Stein fulfilled previously for the Springboks. So yeah, I know as a Shark supporter, you might not see Damien Willemse in the like I see him, but I think he's a very good player for this team. What do you think?
I think when I think Damien Willems, I think of a like an android that was designed in a lab, you know, because
Uh,
I don't know if that was Rasidim's, whole concept, Minaba's concept when they shaped this player for the Springboks, you know, and because he, like you said, he plays fly off, he plays inside center, he plays fullback. I mean, if you probably could, he would play forward as well because he just so versatile. I mean, yeah, he's probably not my favorite number 15, but I think the guy is the future of Southern Hemisphere rugby. I think that his all-rounder ability makes him a holistic rugby player, and the future of what rugby is. You know, you find that you don't need to look for only one type of player, because look what happened in the Lions store when Kobe had to play scrum off, so in those type of positions, when you find yourself with maybe a yellow card or two in, a few injuries in, what are you going to do? Um, you need to find yourself in on the strong end, to know that you have players that you can put in the back and put in the center, or put in a fly-off position. So I definitely think that Willemse is the future of what versatile rugby is about. I mean, he's like a Avenger on his own, man. This guy has superpowers that you can't even imagine. But because he's a stormer, I'm not going to make a big deal out of him. I'm going to leave it at that.
Avenger, he's Avenger, he's an android.
Oh,
He's a very
man,
good
it
one.
is it's something else.
Yeah. All right, so I think we covered from 1 till 15. I want to do this sounds very quickly, just a very broad overview.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the guys on this reserve bench for the Springboks, they can fit in almost any team at the moment, except I would say Faf de Klerk, Elrich Lau, but the rest of these guys, they will fit in almost any international team in the world. They are so good, and the bomb
Yes.
squad, we can see the bomb squad is there, and hopefully the
Yes.
bomb squad they will ignite and bomb Wales into smithereens on the field on
Yes.
Saturday. But I think
Yes.
we've
Yes.
got just a quick overview. Malcolm Marx,
Malcolm,
oh, excellent player. He could
even.
easily start this game for the Springboks. Likewise,
Yes.
Kitsov, you could easily step in there and start the game. Vincent Koch, yeah, Vincent Koch, we don't see much of him because obviously he's playing for Saracens, and I think he's moving now
Yeah.
to another club, I think Bath or some other club in the Premiership. We don't see much of Mostert because he's playing in Japan, but he's still a very
Yeah.
excellent player in the team. Um, Likewise, Quagga Smith, Japan, we don't see much of him, but he's still a very good player. Elrich Lau, the guy performed very well for the Bulls in the URC, but I still now this is controversial now, but I still believe
Yeah.
that Evan Roos is better than Elrich Lau. Now the Bull supporters out there, they're gonna smash me for that comment, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Oh
I
man,
think
dangerous comments there.
they're both there, yeah, and I think they're about the future of Springbok rugby. Yeah, Faf de Klerk, we covered Faf. I think Faf was dropped. Faf was always the number one scrummer for the Springboks, but he was dropped. And Vali Leroux, we once again saw Vali Leroux's his value to the Springbok team in
Yeah.
the first test.
It's experience.
Many people speak down to Vali Leroux or bad of him, but I think he has great value and potential in the Springbok team. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think that's my opinion for the reserves. What do you say?
Yeah. No, look, I do think that Ulrich, he deserves that spot there. I'm not a fan of Evan Roos. I mean, I know that he's probably the future number 8. Yes, you know, I think he's in over his head. I don't think he's as good, firstly, as Visser, you know, as Jasper Visser. But then, I mean, Ulrich Hello would be my second, and then Evan Roos, because, yeah, look, that boy is definitely has proven himself in the Bulls. He's proven why he was there to take them up to the URC finals. But yeah, that is my view. I do think I'm opposed to Evan Roos. I just don't I don't find him that interesting. He's very exciting to watch. He has an attitude. You know, he's a bit of a diva on the field. But Aurich Low, definitely a choice for me. I think the bomb squad, just as they are there, is perfect. I mean, one of my favorites in there is definitely Quagga. You know, another number 8 position there, number 7 even. But Quagga, you know, the man is brilliant. He's just a guy that does not get tired. I mean, when I look at him as a number 7, as a sevens player and how he plays here, I mean, I am sometimes surprised by the pipes that guy has on him. And so, but the rest, I mean, Malcolm, that guy he's like a guy that has been built in a Lego store, you know, just his shape is like a brick house, man. When that guy does the line out and when he's in a mall, man, he is pushing. I said he's the Marks train, you know,
Yeah,
all aboard the Marks Express. He drives that mall and he makes sure that mall is over the try line. So I definitely think this bomb squad is one to look out for. I mean, Frank Mostert is over there, definitely good
yeah,
at his lineouts, good at pulling the team over the line. So yeah, no, I think, and I mean, yeah, Vali Leroux, I agree with you. A lot of people has a lot of flack to say about him, but he's one of the guys that brings balance to a game. His experience, I mean, is something you definitely need in a team like this, and especially against a team that is playing us this weekend. Yeah. So no, that's all I wanted to say about the bomb squad.
Yeah, so this is the current world champions. Unfortunately, the Springboks, they're number 3 in the world currently. France number 1, Ireland number 2, Springboks number
Hey,
3.
by default,
Yeah, by default, but it is what it is. I think it's all right like that. Let France and Ireland peak before the time. It's okay. The box, you know what? The box always perform when they're the underdogs at the World Cup. Always.
yes, yes,
All right, so I think we're deep into this live stream already. So the last section will be our prediction. So my prediction for this game, even though Wales they didn't announce their team as yet, as we making this live stream, but I know
yeah,
Wales they will basically pick the same team that played in the first test and the second test, barring there will be one or two changes due to injury and that. I think Dan Bigger, there's an injury concern for
yeah,
Dan Bigger, so that might be an
and
issue with him.
Alex Gilbert as well. Yeah.
Cuthbert, yes,
Cuthbert,
that's right, yes, the
yeah,
winger.
he's out as
Yeah,
well.
but I mean, the replacement for Cuthbert is Josh Adams. So
Adams, yeah,
yeah, to
dangerous
me,
player
Josh
that
Adams is
one.
a way better winger than Cuthbert. But anyway, this is what it is. They spoiled for choice over there. But my
Yeah,
prediction for this game, I predict the Springboks to win this game by 5 points. 5 points.
five.
Five
Sure, yo,
points.
you
I
are
think there
humble,
will
eh?
be
You
one
are
score even.
humble.
It'll be very tight. Yeah, but I think the Springboks to win this game by 5 points. What's your
Uh,
prediction?
I would say a 14-point lead. I'm very confident on a good
14 points.
14-point lead. Yeah, look, with this squad that you have here, man, I have all the hope in the world for them. I think it's a 14-point lead. Nothing less than that, even maybe more, because they have a point to prove. They definitely have a lot of cleanup to do. And I mean, one of the things that is concerning me is that sea level games for Wales is a comfort zone for them. You know, they are a team that can play on sea level. They now obviously are head over heels because look, they just won on the Highveld. You
That's
know,
right.
people call Bloemfontein the graveyard, and they don't call it that for nothing. International teams come to lose there, you know, and here they won us. So they are coming with an attitude, you know, they are arrogant right now that they won us, and they're already saying that they're gonna make a clean sweep of winning us this weekend. So I definitely think we have a point to prove. You know, the older brothers came out to finish the job. I definitely think it's a 14-point lead or even more.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Now I'm very fortunate to have gotten a ticket to go watch the game on Saturday. So I'll be there supporting
Ah,
the
yeah.
Springboks. And I'll stand there singing
Oh
the national
man.
anthem. Beer Boys. Met die blou
Oh,
van ons
please,
hemel.
please watch it for me because I wanted to buy some tickets, but the 150. I'm so upset
Oh,
actually because how can you make the ticket price so expensive, man?
it's
850
expensive.
rand because the 150
Crazy.
ticket sales are gone now.
Yeah.
So I can't afford an 850 rand ticket, which is the cheapest. So unfortunately, I will be watching it at home. I'll have my green and gold jersey on to support the boys here at home.
Yeah, no, definitely. I also initially saw on the website the ticket prices and I told myself, what on earth are they doing? Asking. I think the lowest was 600, but that's way up in the bleachers. And then it came down to
Yeah,
850, 1000 rand, 1200. I told myself it's way too expensive.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, but I think is that yeah, I think the guys they will do well this coming Saturday. But Sunil, I've got load shedding at 8 o'clock. For those guys who don't know
Yeah.
what load shedding, it's something us Africans we deal with here. So I want to thank you very much for your time, Sunil. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And for
Yes.
those who watched this video, thank you very much for watching this video. If you're watching the recording on this video, please give a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. And I'll catch you guys on my next video. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye bye.